Perfect. All right, team, we've found our way to a spot beside the lake. There's a little bit of wind in the evening, but it's dying down, and the sun has just dipped behind a cloud, which has really let the intensity of that evening sun really peel off so we can kind of come out here and enjoy some painting. Right, I brought all my paints down and a delightful little picnic basket. That's loud. And the plan is to continue where we left off. First colour off the ranks is going to be unbleached titanium. Right, where? And excuse me, we're battling with a small little touch of hay fever at the moment. It's the time of season, guys, it's the long grass, and it really does a number on me. So I've been, getting my head straight on that. There we go. A little bit of unbleached titanium. Small brush, very small brush. I'm gonna flick you across to there. Fantastic. All right, now unbleached titanium is this lovely kind of pale Naples yellow. Pale Naples yellow, but it's got that lovely, how do you describe it? Kind of like a parchment tone with a bit more yellow in it. And I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a beautiful colour. Naples yellow can be quite intense, but we've talked a lot about how this canvas is going to be slightly more muted. And to be slightly more muted, it does need that little bit extra touch of something that's just a little bit more on the softer side and less intense. Because even though Naples yellow can seem like it's quite relaxed, it can honestly be quite a lot during times. Hello Steve, welcome on in. Steve, this will excite you. I've done a little bit of work. Aside from the hay fever that I've been battling with these last few days, done a bit of work in our canvas. It's prepared. But, well, I should say this actually. I've got a canvas prepared, but I'm thinking about using it for our project. So, I've got to get sign off from you first. And the reason why I need that is it's a different size to the other works we've made together. It's square, 1 by 1. And that's not so surprising from the picture we've been looking at, but I'll show you first. I'll send you a video. That'll be the plan. After I'm finished playing around with some unbleached titanium. There we go. I want to get a little bit of red in here as well. Beautiful location. It is. It's an absolute stunning place. It's a lake here in New Zealand. Merry Christmas back at you. Welcome on into this little pocket in New Zealand. Now, one of the catches in New Zealand is when we go into the summer season, we get a chronic, and I mean a chronic amount of pollen in the air. So this is something that I need to dabble with and actually make sure I can sustain through it. You know, where I was painting yesterday, I had to call the stream short. I didn't say it, but it's like, guys, my nose is just running too much. It's still running today, actually. And so these kind of things, they they're a little bit annoying, but anyway. Such is life. Your artist deals with hay fever. And that is just the cards you get dealt. In terms of dealing cards, not a bad one to end up with. Can you please say hi, Oakley? I can do one better. I used to own a pair of Oakley sunglasses. I don't anymore, I lost them. But there was a point in time where Seb Gower owned a pair of $100, $100 New Zealand, so about 66 American, Oakley sunglasses. There we go. Splash that through there. Splash that through there. Am I drinking scotch? If I was drinking scotch, you'd hear a no, I love scotch, but no, I'm not drinking scotch. I'm a dad. I'm a dad. I've got some lovely kombucha. Bubbleless kombucha. There we go. That's going to sneak through here. Lovely. Absolutely gorgeous. Just keep striking that balance between the lighter parts that don't have any contrast in them. And then I'm going to dive into those deeper, deeper, darker colours. I think that's the beauty of this part of the skyline in Hong Kong, that these boats really stand out, popping off the top in their kind of funny shapes. And our job is to make sure we recognise exactly what those shapes are. You can really see, especially in my reiteration of it, in some ways, especially in the early layers, how separate these boats are. See, in the image, they're much more overlaid on each other, but here, we definitely get an idea of separate units, especially with this middle one. I even feel like that's even more centered in this picture than it is in the photo, which is kind of the fun thing of painting, how in the eyes of an artist, how it can change a little bit with what you actually perceive, how you actually see it. There's an element of unintentional expressionism. I mean, there's an element of unintentional expressionism in literally any piece of art. So you can't actually say that, you know, I guess expressionism as an art form is something you actually stared into, but honestly, I think you cannot help the ability for your expression as a human being to creep into your art form in some way, shape or form. It has to. It has to get in there and be a part of it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a human making it. It would be, you could replicate it. And, excuse my hair, there's a bit of wind around. Can your painting be purchased from somewhere? Or do you do a custom painting for someone who has a vision? Honestly, it's funny you say that. Both. There's currently no art at the moment. The lead up to Christmas gets absolutely hectic. And so the last few pieces I'm going to keep in my studio just for me. But like this one here, a lot of these works commission based, and I'm very outspoken with how much I like doing commissions. And I want to put an asterisk on that and say the right commissions. For artists out there and creatives, don't just take any commission because you're excited to do it, say. Make sure it's one that's going to grow you as an artist. Make sure it's something that you won't just replicate your style, but you're going to make something novel and unique with your style. So as long as it's something where I believe I can give you art and not just a replication of craft, absolutely, we can do a commission together. And when you have a vision, that gets really, really cool because when you paint, it's really, really fun and special when someone comes in with their inspiration, their vision and their idea, because then as an artist, you can actually feed off it. A lot of people feel like actually doing someone else's vision or doing commissions and not just raw creativity from your mind can take away something special, but that's incorrect. It adds something special because art being a fundamental way to connect with people, why would that connection only go one way? It's so exciting when a viewer or a collector or someone who's just inspired brings something to the table. And that's what makes the artwork collaborative. So it's a project, but you go on it together. And to actually have an idea brought to life through someone's art form, it'll take you to places that you couldn't have gone by yourself. And it strikes me that's the only real form of art you can possibly do. Because as a single individual going out there and making art, no matter how creative you are, eventually you will start only exploring your own sandbox. But the ability to actually expand by considering that other people outside yourself can build on your own creativity, that's how commissions create magic with art. Just showing the love, mate. Merry Christmas, Hidi. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas back to you. I'm actually in Tarawera today, Hidi, so I'm not sure if you're in Rotorua at all, but I'm nearby. Amazing. Thanks, Seb, for that explanation. I'll be in touch. You are more than welcome. There's a bit of a lineup in January at the moment, but mid to late January, we'll be on, I'm sure. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. I need to know it to make the quote, but actually in terms of where you're based, we can ship anywhere. There's protective cases. I've literally got one over there, but we won't get into that now. That allow them to ship anywhere in the world. In fact, you can see one on the very last reel that starts with me falling into a pool. That's one of the cases that we ship in. Plenty of items for shipping. Basically, it'll get to you via the sky though. Look guys, I'm sure there's nothing wrong with sea freight. You can ship things via water. It's a bit slower, and I feel like the slower the journey is, the more chance there is for small hiccups. Maybe I'm just a worrywart, but I like it when you put it in air freight and it gets to location within 10 days. You think, good, it's safe. Rather than worrying, is it gonna make it? Is it not gonna make it? Where is it in the world? Air freight, bang, to location. But a few things to think about with that. Making sure you keep the weight down. If it's on a ship, you can let weight go right up. There we go. Who else do we have here? Are we from New Zealand? Yes, we are. We are in New Zealand. Beautiful place. Doesn't have to be your favorite place. We do good coffees. We have good hikes. We have lovely nature. Look at our nature. Beautiful weather. Especially when on the other side of the world you guys have entered winter. See, here in the southern hemisphere, we're in summer. What a lovely place to be. There we go. Beautiful. Ha! It'll be summer again before you know it. I was saying to a friend last night that there's no pleasing me. I can't be placated. When it's summertime, I'm like, ooh, it's too hot. Take me back to winter. And when it's winter time, I'm like, ooh, it's too cold. Take me back to summer. I think autumn's my number one. Spring, with spring, there's just a little bit of hay fever around, I think. But with autumn and winter, I mean, a warm winter, I think that's what I want. That's the only way I can be happy. Well, Steve, it's funny that you like these colours because when we go ahead with the fishing picture, you're in a similar palette, I feel. You're in a very, very similar, like, you'll be a bit more luxurious on the oranges and reds, but I see you landing somewhere similar. We'll see. We will see. This needs to go in here. That boat got a bit chonky. We'll sort that out. There we go. That needs to sneak through there. Just like that. Beautiful. Thanks, Emily. Lovely to have you here. Those are my favourite colours, sunset colours. Yeah. It's funny how too though, in this picture, even though it has that amazing feeling of sunset, the three colours that are most prominent, blue, red, yellow. And although they swirl around those tones, yellow goes into Naples and titanium, red, yellow. And although they swirl around those tones, yellow goes into Naples and titanium. They're quite stuck in their primaries. And if you build up primaries just right, you can give the insinuation or the idea of pretty much any color or any scene, but within those primaries. And that's kinda the most beautiful way to build up paint. I think a lot of the old masters would say, get just the primaries or just the basics of the colors and mix the tones yourself. Mix the colors you need yourself. I think it's more of a hybrid, guys. Do a bit of mixing, but if there's a perfect color for it straight out the tube, use that. Van Gogh, now he was a straight out of the tube kind of guy. So, whenever you say old masters, it sounds like you're talking about everyone who ever painted. But in reality, you have to remember that old masters only include some of the masters. The other ones could be in vehement disagreement, and that's okay. Right. Bit more of this, here we go. These two boats actually connect there. There we are. Lovely. I need to pause for a second with you guys because I wasn't expecting the sun to be so hot. I'm going to grab some sunscreen and come on back if that's all right. Connie, it's been a hot minute since we've had you in live. Welcome on in. And who's that there? Filipina. Are you floating right now? It's funny you ask that. Yes, I actually reached the 7th stage in my yoga training, and at that point in time, my chakras aligned, and now when I paint, I'm able to float 6 feet off the surface of anywhere I am. Quite incredible, really. All from a $30 Amazon course. Who would have thought? Back in a moment, guys. All right. If you can hear me, I'm now covered in sunscreen. I'm about 40 feet away from the painting, which is, God, it's a lovely distance to see it from, actually. This is going to a really fun place, guys. Let's keep going, but we're already somewhere pretty fun. Righty-tighty. Mr. Mighty. Beautiful. It's interesting too, these blacks we're adding, they're a jet black as opposed to a Mars black. Mars black comes off a little bit more, not chalky, but grey, kind of browny, not as intense. Can we please get a, Jeepers Creepers. You can get a paintbrush check. This is a round filbert synthetic. Since we're going the whole way with this, let me read out the barcode number. Have you got a pen handy? I'll give you a moment to get a pen handy, hold on. Okay, here we go. 941 641 375 4385. Did you get that? One more time. 941 641 375 4385. So you too can own a cheap synthetic brush like this. with these wilder strokes, it's all right to use a brush that isn't Da Vinci's favorite. And actually, a synthetic brush with some quite flexible bristles and the ability to push itself around the canvas and be pushed too hard and get a little bit ruined, it'll take your art to a better place. When you're always too delicate with the brush, it can hold you back. Did they actually? Oh no, did you watch them blow off the edge? They did! They did, 3 of them did. Throw on the sand down there. That's hilarious, thanks for that. I'll get them after I'm finished here. The paper plates are like, I was supposed to be at a fiesta. I wasn't supposed to be here, being used as a paint plate. I had dreams, aspirations. They were supposed to put hot dogs on me and take me to a party. Stuff being a paper plate out there in the world. All right. Let's come on down here. Beautiful. Just punching colour. I'm going to grab just a little bit of something a little bit different. I'm going to put in just a touch. Here we go. Phthalo green. Just a wee bit here. There we go. A little bit of that. How's that baby? Baby's happy and healthy. Oh my, it's beautiful, Seb. Hello, by the way. Hey, Janice. We're at Lake Tarawera, which is a lake in New Zealand. Who else do we have here? Oh, yeah. But the painting stage, when the wind does get like that though, you are running that sweet, sweet risk. So I'm very glad the painting stayed while I wandered off. I just can't believe at this later point of the evening that sun can be beating down with so much intensity. It can really get you. I was actually thinking to myself, look, I know it's going on dusk, but if I don't put some sunscreen on, I'm going to be red as a peach. Red as a peach, red as a tomato by tomorrow. There's snow here, yeah. We don't get snow in New Zealand, not anywhere I'm from anyway. So that breaks my heart, but I did spend a small part of a season at Big White, which is a mountain in Canada, and I saw a bit of snow there, just a bit. Lovely place though, absolutely lovely place. Hello Pink, welcome in. Pink, sad to say, we're currently in the process of using the colour green of all colours. The colour green, verde as some call it. V-E-R-D-E. Verde. There we go. Yeah. There's also another touch point we're adding in here, guys, that I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but in the water here, we've got 2 dogs front center to add in. So 2 lovely little dogs who play in this water during walks. So that's going to have an effect in this area. Not just yet, but as we go on through the picture. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That sun hasn't dipped quite yet, but it's just tucked behind a cloud for a moment, so we'll use that time. Got a sense of humour yet? No. Unfortunately, no. Still working on that. I'm told they take a long time to develop. And what really set me back is when I had a daughter, what little bit of wit I had got swapped with dad puns. So, if you've come here for the jokes, prepare yourself for bad puns, poor references, and sarcasm. And it's the best I can do. Alright, let's swap out this plate as well. I want some blue. Here we go. Lovely. A little bit of that. A little bit of this. And a little bit of this. That'll take us to the right spot. Not forgetting the little bit of green we still have dabbling on the brush. Whew. That sun really wants to come on down. Whew. Man alive, it is hot out today. Hey Johnny, how we doing? I guarantee you'll love it even more when you get it in person. Oh, I see the conversation there. Thanks, Steve. And welcome on in. How do I say that name there? Terrell Williams. View peaceful. It is peaceful here. It is very peaceful here. It's hot though. It is hot. It's let me check the time right now. 43 in the afternoon, and the heat is just pounding out of the sky. Pounding. Jeepers creepers. So hopefully before it sucks all the moisture out of me, hopefully it'll dip. Because if it dips, that'll extend our painting session. Okay, I want some unbleached titanium into this blue. There we go. Turn it more steely. More steely on the blue front so we can go into more areas with it. Probably out there on the early horizon. It's funny when we talk about pigment. Whenever you splice that gouache acrylic, and with any kind of acrylic or other color, it immediately just takes over, which I love because that shows me that yes, we are dealing with a very, very high pigment paint. The fact that nothing else can really compete with it when it shows up on the scene. Coming back in here. It's a testament to how bright it is. It's hard to read these comments. There we are. Good night, Seb, and everyone. Cheers. Good night, Janice. Thanks for joining on in, giving us a little smidgen of your evening. And hope you have a good night. A little bit more white through it, then we'll be away. There we go. See the little taker getting interested in the colour. It's a little, can't tell if it's a paper wasp or it's not a bumblebee, but it's some sort of little fella wanting to hang out. Whoo-wee. Bit more grey. Ooh. And a bit of parchment. Beautiful. All right, guys, jeepers creepers. That sun's going to take longer to dip than I thought. I can't even think straight in this kind of heat. I'm going to get under some shade, and in the next 30 minutes when it's dipped down, we'll see if we come on back and add a bit more. But jeepers creepers. Going on 6 p.m. and it's still that hot. I'm sweating from head to toe. Last question. If you ever... Oh, cheers, Steve. Really appreciate that. And yeah. Maybe, Steve. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. All right. I'll come back. But right now, jeepers creepers. The heat here in New Zealand. Yeah. I want some of that cold on the other side of the world. See you soon, team.